Hey everyone. So Luis Elizondo has been busted yet again trying to pass off fake photographs as being real during a paid presentation. Now, one of the photographs he used was the triangular craft, which was a fake photo, the triangular craft from the Belgian UFO wave. And he used that to try and explain the so-called warp bubbles, which encompass the craft, and basically that's how they function. I mean, this is bullshit, which people need to stop believing. Stephen Cambion has done a great job exposing how Elizondo has used fake photographs. So I've put a link to his video. I strongly suggest you watch it. I don't care what you think of him personally. He's done a great job exposing Luis Elizondo for being a fraud, and that's exactly what he is, a fraud. That's the conclusion I've come to. Now, in a previous video, which I've put a link to in the description below, I showed how Elizondo and Jeremy Corbell were likely working together since 2017 to basically manipulate and deceive the public. I believe they're both plants from a government agency. I don't know, I can't say which one, but I am convinced that they've been working together, and you can see why I say that in the video I linked to in the description below. Now, look, I know I'm probably wasting my breath because people just don't want to believe this, but really the key thing is, in his book, Elizondo talks about how UFO slash UAP do instantaneous accelerations or extreme acceleration rates where they appear to defy the law of inertia, right? I don't think they are actually defying the law of inertia, but they do appear to defy the law of inertia. However, there's no mention of inertia in Elizondo's book. Not one that I could find, which is very odd. I mean, you would think he would mention the word inertia. You would think so, right? Yet there's nothing there. And what does the inertia of any object depend on? It depends on its mass. And now in my book, I've gone to great detail explaining how whatever this technology is, this mysterious technology, which is not necessarily aliens, right? It could be just advanced human technology. This is technology that reduces the mass and therefore inertia of objects, okay, of UFOs. And I go into great detail about it in my book. I also debunk using gravity as a means of propulsion. So if you want to see like why you shouldn't believe Lou Elizondo and Bob Lazar and people like that, read my book, okay? And you can always refund my book if you don't like it. You have 7 days to refund it on Kindle, or you can just use Kindle Unlimited to read it, okay? If you're a member of that. And yeah, you can always refund my book if you don't like it, but just read it because you'll see why I came to the conclusion that the technology most likely used is one that reduces the mass and therefore inertia of UFOs. And it's interesting that with regards to these warp bubbles that Elizondo is so fond of talking about and using a fake photo from the Belgian UFO wave to promote it, that the Pentagon gave him approval to talk about it. Well, if that really was the case, if the UFOs really used warp bubbles to function to, you know, as a means of propulsion, and I don't think the Pentagon would actually approve it unless, of course, they were part of, some agenda to deceive the American public and the public in general across the world. So, yeah, but the bottom line is that Luis Elizondo is not to be trusted. I've come to the conclusion that he's a fraud, and, it is what it is. And I hope you do check out my book, but more importantly, check out, all the reasons to see why Luis Elizondo is not who he claims he was, the so-called director of ATIP. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching.